Welcome to our series, Moving America Forward. Each week we'll be focusing on America's entrepreneurs as they take us to new roads, new opportunities, new ways to fill the gaps left by today's failing companies. Our series will be looking at that and a lot more. So come with me and watch as the entrepreneurs of our nation move into the future.
And I'm Doug Llewelyn here in our studios in Los Angeles with our guest today, who is the founder and the CEO of the National Builder Trade-In Program. He's headquartered in Scottsdale, Arizona, and it's a fascinating story. I'd like you to meet him now. His name is Steve Ryder. Steve, welcome. Nice to have you with us.
Thank you, Doug. Nice to be here.
This is an intriguing program you have going. Before we get into it in depth, a short while ago, you had a chance to answer some questions from William Shatner. Let's take a look at a brief portion of that and see how it went. Okay?
Absolutely.
All right, let's watch.
I understand, in a sense, that you've been helping to build America. What kind of products and services do you provide, and how is that moving America forward?
You know, Mr. Shatner, millions of Americans across the nation need to get rid of their old home and move into something bigger, newer, and better, like a brand new home. But how do you create the capital to both purchase a new home and have a place to live while it's being built? This is one of the many questions and problems we solve through our unique Home Builder Trade-In program, which is why we allow our customers to either sell their existing home or turn it into a thriving business by actually keeping the home. So that, Mr. Shatner, is how we're helping moving America forward.
You know, that's really fascinating about what you were telling William Shatner. I'm sure anyone involved in the real estate industry or homeowners or people who want to buy will be interested in the many aspects of this program. Tell me a little bit about how it works and what are the advantages for the homeowner?
Well, you know, Doug, for the homeowner, if ever you have a home and you're currently living in it and you decide you want to move into something bigger, better, newer, if you're going to buy new home construction, that's going to take anywhere from 6 to 8 months. So what do you do with your current house? Do you put it on the market? Do you rent it? Do you do a double move? So our main focus is to make it consumer concentric for the consumer to allow them to choose one of 3 options. We can buy it, we can sell it, or we can lease it.
And when I say the advantages for the homeowner, it's also an advantage to the builder, this program. It's kind of a win-win for both parties, isn't it?
Absolutely. We work with local builders, regional builders, and national builders, and we're in 31 cities across the United States and 18 states.
Tell me when all this started. I mean, this isn't brand new.
No, it's not brand new. I've been in the business for 40 years, and I've actually been doing a builder trade-in in the Phoenix Metroplex for 40 years. And It was 4 years ago that I went to our CEO, Gary Keller of Keller Williams, and I said, Gary, I'd like to take my program nationwide. And his one-word response was, why? And I said, you know, Gary, number 1, I like to teach. Number 2, I like to share. Number 3, I'll probably learn more than they will. And number 4, if I make a buck or two, God bless me. And here I am with 31 cities, 18 states. Last year we did $1.1 billion in sales volume.
Wow, that's a lot. That's a lot of money in a market that is not as active in many areas of the country.
You are correct.
Ever figure out how many homes involved and all?
Last year was over 4,000 new homes.
That's a lot.
In my career, we're probably talking 50,000.
That's a lot. That's a lot. Suppose a homeowner has a home that really needs a lot of fixing up before they can sell it, but they don't have the capital to do it. How do you help someone in that situation?
We actually have an equity partnership agreement where we take the current value before we improve it and we decide what that value is. Then we figure out what we're going to do for cost of repairs, and then from that number up, we'll split the equity. So we put up the money, we have the resources for someone to improve the home, so you don't have to worry about how long it's going to take and make all the mistakes a typical remodel could make, and then we split the profit after that. So it's a win-win.
And what's the advantage for the builder? Explain that aspect of it.
The builder, when a husband and wife come in and they want to buy a home, the builder has one obstacle. If that couple has a home to sell, they can't consummate the sale because no one wants to buy until they know how they're going to dispose of their current home. So kind of like trading in a car, It's a one-stop thing. We get them excited about the new home. They pick a home and a floor plan that they like, and then I'll go out to their old home, do an analysis, let them know what's going on in the new home market, what's going on in the resale market, give them a net figure so they know exactly how much cash that they can work with, and from there they move forward or not, depending on their situation.
And you also are able to help people who've had problems with their credit. You know, things are not in really good shape. It's not a great time for them to actually initiate buying a new home, but with your help, they can work it out, right?
Absolutely. You know, between 2007 and 2013, it was the worst time in the history of the United States.
Right.
And a lot of people gave their home back either through foreclosure or through a short sale. So they're what we call financially handcuffed for 3 to 5 years. And what we do is we help them rebuild that credit, get it reestablished so they can go out and buy that new home.
You also use the term leasing. You call it leasing a
Yes.
home. What's the big difference between renting a home and leasing a home?
You know what we do, Doug, is instead of just a typical rental home, which is going to stay rented for maybe 8 months to a year.
Is that the average?
That's the average.
Okay.
And honestly, they don't take very good care of the home because they're just renting it. But we do a lease with an option to buy. And a lease option is going to give you someone that wants to move into a home and buy it. Just the mere fact of them thinking they're going to buy it, they're going to take better care of it. They're going to pay a little bit more a month because we credit them X amount towards their down payment,
Right.
and they stay there for 3 years. So it absolutely is 3 times the amount of time they're going to stay in the property, and they're going to leave it in really good condition.
I was going to say the home is in much better condition
Absolutely.
than would typically be normal.
Correct.
Suppose they want to keep the home that they have when they're buying a new home,
Yep.
want to keep it as an investment. Is that possible?
Absolutely. And you know, quite candidly, that's probably one of the best decisions they can make. There's more millionaires that were built through real estate than stocks, bonds, gas, and oil all combined. So the number one way to build wealth is through real estate. So we advise people to keep their home financially if they can afford both the new home and the old home. That's the way to go.
That's very interesting. You work with real estate agents all over the country. You kind of coach them, don't you?
Yes, sir.
You are a productivity coach for
I
them.
am a productivity coach.
I think that's a
absolutely.
great title.
Thank
There's
you.
so many coaches around nowadays. I haven't heard one like that though. But that's cool. What do you do?
My job is when I sign a licensee, they're an experienced agent, normally in the top 10% of their current market, so they know what they're doing. They sign a licensee agreement with me for 5 years, and they pay me $1,000 a month for my coaching. And what I give them is everything from soup to nuts, from the very beginning to the end, and all coaching in between. So they can add this as a leg of lead generation to their current business, and it works phenomenal.
And basically, how does it help them? I mean, are they learning things they just had no idea of before?
Absolutely. You would be surprised. We all get in our own world and we have tunnel vision. There's things like door knocking, open houses. You can work expireds or for sale by owner. But the true niche is working with home builders because they're open 7 days a week, 10 hours a day. And if someone comes in and wants to buy that new home, then they need to refer them to me. And so it's a tremendous lead generation source for me and for my licensees.
You know, you would think there's so many books on real estate. There's so much talk about real estate. So many television programs on about real estate, how to sell, how to flip. Well,
You bet.
You would think there's nothing new to learn. But I think you're showing real estate agents there really is something new to learn. And a lot of it's common sense, isn't it?
Absolutely. And you know, sometimes we forget about common sense solutions. I also have taught real estate agents how to market and sell new homes because they really just focus on resale homes. So there's a whole dichotomy of selling new homes versus just selling resale. So I equip them with a website, and I've trained over 2,000, and I call them new home ambassadors across the United States. So if you want to learn how to market and sell new homes, I give you that tool.
Who have you partnered with on the construction side? I know you've done that with a lot of well-known names, but give me an example.
Pulte Homes, Taylor Morrison, Woodside, D.R. Horton, Toll Brothers, pretty much all of the nationals, a lot of regionals, and my number one account in Scottsdale, Arizona is Fulton Homes. And Fulton Homes is the largest privately held company in Arizona, and they do a tremendous job giving back to the community. Really a good company.
And you yourself are affiliated with Keller Williams.
Absolutely.
Which is another huge name in the industry.
Yes, sir, it is. We are the largest real estate company in the world.
So considering what you've managed to do, I mean, now how many years have you been doing it? 40 years almost
40
in the
years.
business? It's a
Yes,
long
sir.
time. And how many states are you in now?
I am in 18 states, 31 cities.
And now you're looking at going abroad.
Yes, I'm going global. Last year I went to Portugal, Panama, South Africa, and Cancun, Mexico.
You know, I asked you this before we started. Is selling a home in Portugal the same way it is selling a home in Scottsdale, almost?
You'd be surprised, but it's almost exactly the same.
No kidding. That's pretty fascinating. In addition, you're an author.
Yes,
You
sir.
have a book.
Yes, sir.
It's called Change. Tell me about what this little book is. And it's a book that can be read in, I understand, 2 minutes. And it's really about right. 2 minutes.
It took me 2 minutes to write. And the book, you know, we embrace change every single day. There's a quote that was written by Marcus Aurelius back in 161. He was considered one of the 5 great Roman emperors. And he said, "Loss is nothing but change, and change is nature's delight." So change is inevitable unless you die. We change all day long. So how do you embrace change? Is it for the good? Is it for the bad? And what's the formula for success? So in my book, I've given you the 12 steps of improvement to affect change.
Fascinating. And you're using this to put money into a foundation to help kids, not only in this country, but around the world. You have a soccer ball program where you give soccer balls out to children's
sir.
groups. You did it abroad as
Yes,
well as
sir.
here.
Yes, sir.
You do a lot.
Well, you know, at the end of the day, it's all about giving back. If you're going to create a legacy in life, it's about what you give. And that's what I'm doing, Doug. Giving back to not only my fellow realtors, but also to the kids out there, because every dime that comes from that book
Yeah.
or my song or anything that I do from public speaking all goes to I Kick for Kids and rolls up to our foundation. And our foundation is designed to focus on desalination of the ocean. Because I'll tell you one thing, Doug.
It's a big
big mission.
It is.
But if we can desalinate the ocean, we'll change the world.
Thank you so much. It's a great story you have. Nice
Thank you,
chatting
Doug.
with you.
My pleasure.
You're
Thank
welcome.
you.
Now it's my honor to present this prestigious award to Steve Ryder, the CEO of the National Builder Trade-In Program based in Scottsdale, Arizona, for the outstanding work his firm is doing to help keep moving America forward. Steve, it's a pleasure to give this to you. Congratulations.
Thank you very much, sir. And I would like to thank, number one, the good Lord for allowing me to be on this earth and provide for my fellow realtors as well as the consumer, and my wife, Beth, and my son, Alexander. Thank you.
You're very welcome.
I'm William Shatner, and for all of us at Moving America Forward, thanks for watching.